they present. They generally like in kids cartoons sort of thing in American culture. It's like just really like just basic morals presented. Whereas in anime they address just so many different issues and like just different culture clashes and stuff like that, which can be really cool, and they do it really well.
Harking back to some of the early anime, two of them actually, Prince Planet and Amazing 3. Both those series had that sort of thing of making sure that Earth is on an even keel, man doesn't sort of like go stupid, blow themselves up, because if not then the higher beings got directed to like, well, you got a whole year to sort out Earth or we're coming in and destroy it, because man hasn't sorted themselves out. So they send down guardians to make sure that Earth is on the right keel, and sort of like, well, there may be some bad guys here, but not all Earth people are that bad. So that's a common thread as well, you know, destruction of Earth, because of the way Japan was the first country to get nuked, so to speak.
For example, like something even like Sailor Moon, all right? Like this came out when it was still kind of a traditional society, but it started becoming modern. This is like a post-modern, post-war time sort of thing. And they wanted to show that a girl can be very girly, very feminine, still fall in love with a guy, but she's also strong. She has responsibility and she can step up to the mark. And there's been a lot of studies done on like other similar shoujo titles, sort of like Utena as well, like girls that actually can
step up to the
mark,
but look pretty at the same time.
Still keep their femininity, but actually stand up to the masculine powers that be.
Yeah.
A lot of the shonen style anime or games that are sort of made for boys or young men will sort of have a really cool main character and a girly female character who is very traditional, you know, is more of a support character, but she's the main lead, so she ends up with the main guy. And I tend to find this sort of story, because it's more action related and their adventures sort of storylines, more exciting than the made for girls stuff, which is all about, you know, relationships and happy and sparkles and some of it is good, but I tend to prefer the more male directed storylines.
You know, there is in Japanese culture that whole moe factor, you know, where a girl is really cute and desired if she's more cute and
high pitched voice, big eyes, and like talking.
Do your impression. Go on. Do an impression of a moe girl, yeah. Moe? Say something else.
What, like Goshushin-sama?
Yeah, stuff like that. I just want to make her do that. But yeah.
But yeah, no, you do get a lot of different aspects of females, and whether they're the cute ones or the masculine ones, it's you can say anything. I mean, you can talk about the feminine guys as well. Like, why is a guy dressed like a female, you know? And it's like he's not. He's just dressed like a bishy boy. It just depends on...
Though in some he is dressed like a girl. So.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
It does seem that anime gets more into a fantasy sequence, and also maybe some myths and mythologies and iconic characters, and they have no problem with sexuality, which I think is a bit more, what would be the proper word?
Non-American?
Non-American.
When people look at anime during the 60s and early 70s, that's the comment they pick up saying, oh, they're trying to be American because blah, blah, blah. It's not the case. Tezuka was a big fan of Walt Disney. And you look at Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck and Goofy, they all got these big eyes. And that's where he designed his... Because their original pictures or little comic strips had small eyes and Asian eyes. But he decided to draw this whole new emphasis on big and cute, and that's how come they all got saucer eyes.
Manga comics is extremely important to the Japanese animation market because, 90% of the time, the source material for the anime is the manga. So without manga, there wouldn't be as many stories for animators to adapt. And a lot of the times shows are adapted from manga because it was popular as a manga first before it gets translated over into the animation world.
Anybody can draw. Not everybody can draw well, but anybody can draw, and getting it onto the printed page is a lot easier than obviously doing an animated production. And so what the animators or the animation studios are doing is they've got to spend a lot of money to get a cartoon onto a movie screen or onto the television screen. They're looking for the artwork already created, the stories already developed, and that's why they're looking at manga.
This is actually a boy's manga, and this is a girl's manga called Ribbon. I don't know. So and this is this is Weekly Jump. So the titles are actually in English, and they come out like telephone books, and they have several stories. And they're nicely, brightly, different coloured, like stencils. But that's where the original idea of when manga entertainment came out, from taking, well, what to describe this sort of thing? Oh, we're taking things from the comics, manga, which is translates originally as Irresponsible Pictures. The manga dates right back to early little drawings for political purposes in Japan, etchings, so to speak, and then slowly but surely they develop into something else. Comic strips didn't happen till much later on in Japan. They had little stories in newspapers, but not a lot. But the manga, as we call it, design came after World War II, and the design for everything comes from the father of manga, which is Tezuka, who's happened to be creator of Astro Boy and Kimber the White Lion. There in the 50s, they set up. He was living in this apartment, and it's known as the Manga Apartment, where all these different artists, writers, had out this apartment and started doing their work.
There is a manga for any kind of reader. Anyone who wants to read, for instance, we've got a manga about cooking. We've got manga about learning Japanese. There's manga about fishing. There's manga about pachinko. There's manga about stock markets. There's manga about working in the office. And if you look just around you in a Japanese environment, you'll notice that manga is used to explain anything to anyone.
In Japan, the comic market is so big. And for example, for your information, there's a weekly like bunch of short series of comic, which is called Shonen Jump, published from Croatia. It sells actually 3.7 million copies per week.